Hi everyone, welcome to Mindful Crafts and More. I'm Katrina. If this is your first time checking out my channel, welcome. Take a look at this video or any of my other videos. If you find yourself inspired, join my channel. Those of you who are returning, welcome back. I really appreciate you just hanging out with me for a bit. So, hi everyone. Today I'd like to show you how to join tatted rings. Tatted rings can be made basic, just like I showed in a previous video, or you can use something called Picots to join them together. So let's take a look at a few pieces which have tatted rings joined together and take a look at sizes of threads at the same time, okay? So I'm going to show you a photo here that I have taken of some work that I have done. The first one here, which is the smallest one, is made with size 40 thread, okay? And that's very, very thin. So it gives you a more finer, more delicate look to the piece that you are working. And of course, the result is much smaller because you have thinner thread that you are working with, all right? The next one to that is size 20. Size 20 is a little bit thicker. And as you see, you can get definitely a little bit more definition to your work because you have a little bit thicker thread that you are working with. And the size of the overall piece is going to be a little bit larger as well. Both of these are pretty intricate and they do take a little bit of practice to work with them because you have to just get really comfortable with the stitches and with the thinness of the threads. All right. The next one is a little bit more what many will be accustomed to, and that's size 10. So you can easily find size 10 crochet thread in the yarn stores and various places. And you can use specific thread for tatting, which the first three that are there are using specific tatting thread, and it's got a coating on it to kind of help make those stitches look really nice and defined. But you can also use something like mercerized cotton, which I also have an example of here. Okay, so I've shown you three of the tatting threads ranging from size 40 to size 10. And then the ones next to that, those are actually craft cord, which come as 10 yard skeins, usually in packs. Usually you can find them in the same area where there are materials for friendship bracelets and whatnot, okay? So yes, and you see the size difference between that and the size 10 Elizabeth tatting thread. It seems to be comparable, so I'm not sure exactly what size the craft cord is supposed to be, but it does seem like it is comparable to somewhere between that size 10 or maybe the next one, which is size 5. I'm not sure, okay? Now, the very last one that's there, I did not with a tatting shuttle, but I actually did with a tatting needle. So all the ones that I just discussed prior to this very last one were done with tatting shuttles. And the very last one was done with a tatting needle. And you see, I still was able to achieve a very similar size with my tatting needle using a similar size crochet thread or tatting thread, okay? So you can achieve pretty much the same size product using your tatting needle as you can with a shuttle. All right, and that is good news that all of the techniques will work and you should be able to achieve the very same result without any compromise whatsoever, regardless to whether you used a tatting shuttle or a tatting needle, okay? All right, so now I would like to do a little brief tutorial to show you a couple of ways to make tatted rings. And in doing so, we're going to make a small clover or butterfly, depending on how you look at it, okay? So let's take a moment and let me switch my camera, okay? Okay, guys, so here we are. I have my tatting needle. It's already threaded. I have maybe about a yard of tail thread at the back of my needle, and then we're going to begin going towards the tip. All right, so I showed you in the previous video how to do a double stitch, and that's what we're going to start with today. Okay, all right, so we're going to do a double stitch. We're going to do actually 5. Okay, so let's do 6 instead. Okay, we're going to do 6 double stitches, and then we're going to do a picot. Okay, so a picot, before I do it, let me tell you what we're doing. Okay, in order to do a picot, we're going to do the first half of the double stitch like this. And instead of bringing it all the way close, we're going to leave a space. All right. So as you see here, I'm going to leave a space. All right. So I'm going to leave a close space so that I can connect it. Okay. And then I'm going to do the second half of my double stitch. And when I put it together, you see I have made a nice little loop there, and that's called a picot. All right. All right. So now let's go ahead and do 7 double stitches. So this first part after my picot is actually a double stitch. So I'm going to do 6 more. Okay, so let's count. So we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then here we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right, so I'm going to do 8. Okay, so I have 8 there. So now I'm going to do a larger picot. And you see how I left a bigger space there? Okay, so let's finish it off. And let's do 8 more. This will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now I'm going to do a small picot here. See how I left that? And I'm going to do 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so you should see here we have 6 double stitches. We have 6 double stitches, 1 picot. Then we did 8 double stitches total, 1 picot, 8 double stitches, 1 picot, and 6 double stitches. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and close this up, and I'm going to pull this so that I actually have this higher than the bottom of my loop here. And let's go ahead and pull it through. Okay. Because this is needle tatting, I have to pick up my loop. I'm now going to bring it close, and I'm going to pull here to make this one close. I have a nice ring there. I'm going to turn my work, make a knot. Okay, turn my work back. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at our ring. This is the ring that we have just made. And we have our stitches begin this way, and we have our picot here. We have a large picot here, a small picot here, and then our ring is closed. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to put it very close to my work. All right. My ring was made like this and it closed up like this. All right. Just so you know. So this is where it closed up. I'm going to push my work towards the back of my needle and I'm going to make another ring. And this time I'm going to do 5 double stitches. Now, because I did 6 on the other one, I probably should do 6 here so that it's not pulling, all right? So now, how do we join these picots? So the way we join our picots is we take our crochet hook from the front of the picot to the back, we hold our work behind, and we pull a loop through the picot, and then we put it on our needle. Okay, so that's how we do it. And then we just bring our work close. All right, so now it is joined. Okay, now it is joined. So now I can continue tatting because now I have joined this portion to that one. All right, so now here, what I'm going to do is make another 6 double stitches. Okay, and here I will make a large picot, then 6 double stitches, okay, so now I'm going to make a small picot and 6 double stitches, okay, so let's make sure I did that the way I want it. I have 6 double stitches, 6 double stitches here, 6 double stitches here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I gotta have one more. All right. So that's 6, that's 12, that's 18, and that's 24. Okay, so that's what I want there. Now let's go ahead and close up our ring. Bring it through, pull to have the loop enclosed, and then pull tight on our ring, turn our work, make a knot, okay? So now we turn our work back and you see we have 2 rings, all right? 2 rings and they are joined together by a picot, all right? So let's do another ring just like this one, all right? Put my needle close to my work. and I'm going to tat 6 double stitches. Okay, so I have 6 double stitches there. I'm going to connect to this very small picot right here. You can see that carefully. Right here is my picot. So I'm going to go into that picot from the front. I'm going to pick up my thread from the back and pull it through to the front, okay, and put it on. I put it on my needle, okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and do 6 more double stitches. Okay, I'm going to do a nice size picot, which is just a gap, okay, 5 more, okay, a small picot. If you see that gap there, small picot, and 5 more double stitches. Okay, so here we have 6 double stitches. We join to the picot from the last ring, 6 double stitches, large picot, 5 more double stitches, small picot, 5 more double stitches. All right, so we're ready to close this ring. And I continue to go until I almost get this ring closed, but I am careful not to pull it closed because we want a ring, and this is how we close the ring. So I pick up the loop with my needle, and then I pull at the back to have that loop pulled in, and then pull at the front. And I try to see if I can get those two to be about the same um, diameter. I turn my work, wrap around, make my knot. Okay, so I'm going to turn my work back, and now you see we have 3 loops. This was loop number 1, this is loop number 2, and this is now loop number 3. Okay, so I mentioned we were making a butterfly. If you wanted to make a clover or something like that, you would be done because they're usually in groups of 3 and tatting. All right, but we're going to make a butterfly, so we need to make this last ring here, which is larger. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So we'll pick up our needle, and we're going to attach it to this very last ring that we just did. Okay, so I'm going to start out with 6 double stitches. Okay, I'm going to join my work, go into the picot from the front, pull the loop up with your thread from the back to the front, and then place it on your needle and pull it so that it is nice and snug. And now we have joined it, okay? So now we're going to do 8 double stitches. Okay, we have 8 double stitches. Now let's do a large picot. A nice space there. You see that? Okay, and finish it off. Okay, 7 more double stitches. Oops, sorry about that. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 3 more. 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so that's 8. And then I'm not going to connect it, but I will do a very small picot. Okay, and then 6 double stitches, which means 5 more. 2, 3. Uh-oh. My loop tightened in the wrong spot, so I'm just going to loosen it. There we go. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need 1 more. And 6. All right, so for this one, we have 6 double stitches, picot, joined, 8 double stitches, picot, 8 double stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, picot, 6 double stitches. All right, so let's go ahead and close this one. Okay, I picked up my loop. I'm going to pull that to tighten and pull here. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my work. Pick up my ball thread. Wrap around the ball thread and make a knot. Okay. So this one I tried to match up with this first one so that I can get it to be about the same size as the first one. Okay. And then I can turn my work and kind of see what it looks like. All right. So I don't really want them to be bunched. So I'm going to kind of space out my stitches. I can take my hook and just kind of play with my picots a little bit to make them more pronounced. Uh-oh. Including the little small ones right there. And then I just look at it to see if I am pleased with the way my piece has turned out. Okay, so to turn this into a pretty butterfly, what you can do is you can tie a knot with these 2 pieces, okay? You have your initial piece that you started with, and you have your end piece. So you tie a knot in there, and then you bring it up. Okay. You can use a pair of scissors to cut your work. And then you can make a little knot. Okay, so I made a little knot, and now I'm just going to trim it. Okay, so there you have it. That's how you make a tatted butterfly, and that's how you join rings. This is done using a tatting needle, but I will show you in a different video how to do this with a tatting shuttle. Okay, I hope you guys enjoy it. Please get practice. The more you practice, the better you get at the joining. Okay, I hope this helps. Thank you so much. I am back, and I have my beautiful tatted butterfly. I hope that you guys were able to complete yours. It's complete with the little antenna and everything, and I am just happy with the way that it came out. So we learned some very important techniques. We learned how to make a ring. We learned how to make picots of different sizes, and we learned how to join the rings together using the picots. So I think that's actually quite a bit that we've learned as beginners, right? And there are more complex techniques for joining, but I thought I would just stop right there with this, as the butterfly is a very good beginner project because there's not any fancy things that you have to remember other than the join. Okay, so I hope you're able to follow it, and yeah, I look forward to seeing some beautiful butterflies or some comments. All right, so I'm going to try to put together the next one, which will be a shuttle tatted one, and then you guys can let me know. The last video I showed you how to do a ring two ways, and because it was just a single ring, I did two different ones in the same video. For this one, it took a little bit longer because I had more rings to do. So I decided to split them up, and I will show you how to do a tatted butterfly using the shuttle in the next video. It actually be the same pattern. It's just that the techniques are a little different when you're using the shuttle. And that's it. Okay. So hopefully you enjoyed it and you're getting excited. I'm excited to be able to share this with you guys because I learn something every time I have to try to show someone what I'm doing. I really do like learning. And so it's a wonderful opportunity for me to learn something as I'm trying to share it with you guys. Okay. So that's all I have for this portion. Let's go ahead and take a look at the puzzle solution for the last video that included a puzzle. And this is what I came up with. And this is a puzzle for today. Thanks so much. I look forward to seeing you guys in my next video. I'm not sure if the next video will actually be a tatting video, but that's okay. Just stay tuned. I'm working on them, and I will definitely have it available for you. Okay. So to each and every one of you, be mindful, do everything you can to be at your best health. And by all means, guys, be crafty every day. I'll see you again in my next video or one of yours. Bye-bye now.